What do their responses teach us about our own response? That's such an important question, and it really should help us frame all these lessons, because what I really want the class to experience is what I experienced studying Luke and finding myself immersed in this story personally, and finding myself responding as I'm faced with this salvation story afresh in a new way. The first lesson covered Luke 1 and 2. This lesson covers 1 and 2, but where the first lesson focused on that historical context and God coming near into it, and kind of seeing what God was doing and all the different ways God was acting to touch and to bring Jesus into this world. This is going to cover the same text, but now we're reading it again from another perspective. We're reading, what did the people who experienced this encounter, how did they react to it? And so what's first of all, make a list of all the encounters and the reactions, and there's quite a few. When Mary goes to visit Elizabeth, we have the reaction of Elizabeth and the reaction of John, who's still in the womb. Mary has her own reaction, what we call the songs of Mary, and that's why songs of salvation are primarily referring to the extended prayer and praise of Mary and Zacharias. Zacharias has a song as well, a prophecy really. But also the neighbors and family of Elizabeth have a reaction. The shepherds and the angels at the birth of Jesus, they have a reaction. All the way to Simeon and Anna when Jesus is brought to the temple for circumcision. And what's interesting, again, the themes that arise here in these songs of salvation, they're going to carry the gospel forward, these themes. And so what were the reactions? Well, it's praise, it's joy, it's a celebration of God's salvation. Both Mary and Simeon and Zacharias refer specifically to God's salvation. I think Anna refers to God's redemption of his people. So this whole response is a recognition that, wait, God has come near to save. And so it's a celebration. It's an outburst of praise and joy. And also there's a lot of talk about peace in this. This is, if God's mercy, which is also Mary and Zacharias, really emphasize this mercy of God is what moves him to save his people. On the other side of that, we receive it with joy and peace. And of course, the Holy Spirit is moving through this whole thing, right? Elizabeth is filled with the Spirit. Later on, her husband, Zacharias, is filled with the Spirit. Everybody's getting the Spirit. That's what happens when you encounter God. And I want that to happen to us as we study, not just at a distance, not just sort of like going back through old dusty pages, but really entering the story and letting that story inform our story, because we're part of this. We have accepted this story as the story that shapes our own life. And so I'm hoping the class has its own reaction, that the Spirit will move us in joy, in celebration of salvation, in celebration of redemption, in celebration of what Zacharias calls the visitation. He's visited his people through Jesus, and he's still visiting us today through the Holy Spirit. So that's the focus of this lesson.